never really right time obtuse. Getting in the fight, I might lose. Never really have to bout nice boobs. Flipping out to Waku 992. Picking up the mic to spike my views. Keep it kinda like haikus. I'ma take the night to write my news. What's the height? I wanna strike my noose. People never really gonna understand this, why I gotta write a symphony. I'm just making use of what I know, so I'm guessing I prefer to do it rhythmically. But I never really seem to get it right. The imperfectionist is just a kid in me. Yeah, I struggle as an artist, I'm the face of definition, woo, the epitome. And I've always had a problem hating on myself, stacking up my wealth to put it on a shelf and throw it down a well. And maybe I rebel to feed it to the devil, never would repel people that I seek to meet in evil hells. Reaching like a leash, I seek it to excel. A cheeky freak that isn't Greek up in the shell, but my mystique is just unique enough to sell. I'm a lyricist, not a rapper, broken so we're not immune.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are on Wolf Talk Podcast. We are here with Trotwood. How you doing today?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. Still too early. Well, too late. I worked last night, so
Yes.
your choice. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I live in a small town called Bevier. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere here in northern Missouri, mid-northern Missouri. So kind of makes it harder to do the music because you don't got access to like the city stuff that everybody else has. But we do our best.
So, what got you into music?
I've always loved music. I listen to all generics of music all the time, and I've just always had a thing for music. The reason I actually started doing this was my buddy and I, who was formerly known as Minmo Joe, wanted to start a studio. I had talked to him for 2 years about starting our own business, and he chose a studio because he had a rock band at the time. And I started off just supposed to be a sound guy for that. And my garage was the perfect place to put up a studio. So in the meantime, while their band was off for like a week, I would mess around on the computer making beats and things and whatnot. And Midmo Joe would just drop lyrics on them. And that's kind of how I got started into the music part of everything. And so I started making beats for him just for fun, and his band ended up falling apart about a week before their first concert, so we ended up using all the music we had made together.
Oh, man.
And so eventually I was DJing and everything for them for about 2 years, and then I decided he helped me write I wrote a couple songs in between there, and then Midmo Joe helped me write a couple, and I kind of started performing them with them, so I didn't just have to stand there DJ. I could get up and perform with them and have a good time at the concerts. And that's kind of how I started doing the singing part. I was just kind of in the background for the most part up until then, so.
So, you ready for that show upcoming in May?
I am. I'm looking very forward to it. I seen that little birdie said that Tickle may be there, and I like his character. I think he's pretty funny. So,
Should be a fun show.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
what kind of influences do you have?
Oh, I don't even know how to. I jump around everywhere. I mean, I love so many different bands and types of music and stuff. From, like I said in the other interviews, from System of a Down to Yellow Wolf, of course Eminem, Nelly. I used to listen to a lot of the early music in the 90s. I listened to just about everything, and I have a lot of favorite artists back then too and stuff like that. But I don't really know that you could say I sound like any of them.
Right?
Because nobody knows what I sound like, so they just call me a unique artist. So I don't.
So so you said you make your own beats. Do you sell them?
I do. I haven't really sold any. I just kind of been sharing them with some friends and stuff because really I don't really have much online as far as that goes. Everything I've got's in studio, so uh, I've had a couple people hit me up about beats, but Joe used a lot of them uh, here and there. For the first show, we definitely had a lot of mine, but as we've been progressing, they were doing beats faster than I could do them, so I wasn't the one making the beats anymore. Because we
Right.
got ended up with Bull Spit Nation, and so we ended up with several new artists in the studio as well. And there wasn't no way I could make beats for everybody fast enough, and I was also trying to produce and things like that. So I started focusing more on the producing than making the beats and stuff, so that I could get better at doing that.
So do you go to studio or do you do in house?
Uh, the studio is in my garage.
There you go. In
Yeah,
house. Yeah.
yeah. It's been here for I think 3 years now. So it's changed over the years quite a bit. Went from starting with a band to having a bunch of mixture of artists in here, and you never know what you're going to see in these studios. I mean, I've seen some of the craziest stuff, and I can tell you that they were probably drunk and could never do it again because they couldn't do it again. We tried to get them to do it again. They couldn't repeat what they did, but we had it set up in here so they could actually like do a concert at the other end of the garage. And
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I've seen just some of the craziest stuff you've ever seen, and it's jaw dropping because it'll be somebody you won't expect to.
Right.
So, but I
So
would
you
go ahead.
go ahead. You finish what you were saying.
Oh, well, there was one time my brother did it. Which he's fiddled around and stuff and whatnot, but he did a whole entire rock song off an acoustic song he'd been working on. He just used the lyrics from it, and he used one of the beats that I had made that was kind of a rock, and it was one of the baddest ass songs I've ever heard in my life. And he performed. He couldn't have performed it better up there drunk. And oh man, that was a time. And I was like, Joey and I just looked at each other like, what the hell did we just see? It was that my brother, and we tried to get him to get on the mic and do it again. He couldn't ever repeat it. It it was one time. There's a lot of one time things.
Oh, that's usually how it works, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some. I've worked with a lot of artists. Most of them are rappers. Uh, we got Spencer, which is Jitterbug in here, and he does country and country rap. But he's definitely one of the. He's definitely a really crazy rapper. He's the only one I've seen that's like the way he is when he does his rapping, but he mostly just sticks to more of the country stuff right now. So we'll see how he grows as an artist.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And he'll be performing at this event as well.
Him and like 40 million other people.
Yeah, I think it'll be. It sounds to me like it's going to be a really good time, and that's an important thing when you're doing a concert. Everybody just has a good time. So
Absolutely. It's starting to turn out like a mini Woodstock.
yeah, that would be crazy, wouldn't it?
So you've been touring?
Uh, I did tour when I first started. That's kind of one of the reasons why I had the songs is so I could be on the tour because sometimes whenever we're touring and stuff, it's hard to fill slots if you don't know a lot of artists in that area or you don't have any contacts in that area. So uh, we added me in there by adding a couple songs, and that was the ones that him and I worked on together. And that's how I started performing with them on tour. I was going to DJ, and the problem was we couldn't really find anybody that wanted to do it during the week or pay us anyway, So
Right.
we couldn't hardly find much work. We ended up just going back to work that during the week, and then just playing on the weekends.
It's
So,
usually what everybody else does.
yeah, and you just gotta. It takes a while. I mean, I wasn't the one doing the performing and stuff, but I was. I mean, the amount of work Mojo was putting into doing this music, it's pretty crazy. Like every day doing something. Didn't matter what it was. I had to be doing something with music.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so I'm trying to like kind of follow in his example of doing that. I know I slip a lot, so I'm kind of guilty of that right now, but I'm trying to wheel my way up there.
Now, do you have merch?
I do not yet. I'm getting some. Hoping to have some made, especially by the time we get to May. I should have some made. I'm going to have some made to bring me with me there. Gonna have some T-shirts at least.
Right.
But
Yeah, like I said, it should be a lot of fun.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like there's a good mixture of artists, and a lot of them's active in the artist chat. So I've talked to some of them and stuff, and of course we did the interview. I got to meet some of them then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. It's a good mix of characters.
So, how did you come up with the name Trotwood?
So when we used to go and have a guy's birthday party, and we got in trouble, so his dad wouldn't let us have the birthday party in the house anymore. Well, eventually one year we moved it out to a field, and they pulled an old camper out there, and the camper's name was Trotwood, and it just became Camp Trotwood. And it was just something fun that I used to do when we were young. We partied there a couple times. So it was just something fun that, you do when you're growing up or something. It was just a memory I had. And I had been working on a song, and I had it in the song, part of it, because I used the thing because it was actually a realistic thing. It was the actual name of the bluff there. It was Trotwood Bluff. So I used that in one of my songs, and Midmo Joe says, "Why don't you just use Trotwood instead of Joker Stealth? It sounds a little less made up."
Right.
And I'm like, okay. I was like, like he might, like, maybe they'll take you more serious as an artist if you use that name instead. So I just changed it. That's why I don't really have much of Alan Trotwood yet. So I'm going to get there eventually. It's just one of those things. It's just another thing to do. So
It's a good story. It's not exactly, if somebody asked me how you got it, that's not what I would say.
it used to be a party place in school.
What?
That's what the name's from. It was just a party place.
Okay.
It was a place to go out and have a good time. So,
But if some random person sees the name without knowing the history, that's why I asked you how you came up with the name, because that's not. If somebody asked me, "Oh, how did that become Trotwood?" Obviously I'd come up with my own theory.
yeah, I think people do that with a lot of names. But I mean, before it was like Joker Stealth, so that was just my gamer tag off my Xbox. So, and I was just DJing, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. I was just kind of, like I said, I was in the background. It wasn't like
Right.
I was headlining or anything. It's Joker Stealth. So we was moving me into Trotwood, so I blended in better with the other artists that I play with. That way I didn't stick out. You got Kane James, Midmojo, Jitterbug, Trotwood. It just sounds better than Joker Stealth. So, but it was a fun while it lasted. I mean, like I like the name Joker. I mean, obviously I like Joker Stealth. It was just something I came up with because it's hard to find a unique name on Xbox
Right.
where you
Well,
ain't
I
numbers
mean,
in your name, and that's how I ended up Joker Stealth. I came up with that name on there, and nobody had used it, so I was like, hell yeah.
well, you know the ongoing joke. If somebody said, if I didn't ask you, everybody would be like, "Where did you come up with that name?" I was like, if I didn't ask you, I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe he had to go. Maybe he had the trots, and the only place he could go was the woods.
Yeah, yeah. I can only imagine what they're going to say, but you know, it is what it is, and I
Well, that's
like
what.
it. I think it's a creative name. I mean, it does. You know, to me, it even sound. I do like two of the songs that him and I wrote together sounded country because they were trying to do a country like tour for Jitterbug. So, and Jitterbug, he's quick rapping. I can't rap that. I mean, I can rap some, but I can't rap that fast. Like not like him. He's really fast and snappy at it. So, but I try. I do my best. That's kind of why I dabble with the rap because that's what I've been around for, 3 years is just working with rappers and stuff, so I try. I mean, I'm not like going to be jumping on all the rap albums and stuff like that because I can't quite get to that point where I feel like I'm in the same level they are as rapping goes, but once in a while I'll write a verse or something that'll pop into something. But I'm currently working on one with Shaq and Kane James called Hey Fishy, and we got it about half done, so we'll be releasing that here.
You talking about Shaq O'Neal?
His name's Shakalak. He's an artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's in Bullspit Nation with us. Him and Kane James and Rado, Jitterbug, and South Costello.
Well, I know Shaquille O'Neal. You got into some new stuff, so that's why I was wondering if that who was you're talking about.
No, not Shaquille O'Neal. I don't know that he's back to rapping. He might be.
I'm not sure. I know he merged with one of my guys that does a show.
I even had that album when it came out. I've been around a while.
Yeah, love Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep. I remember that first album he released.
Yeah, he actually did some stuff with Fortnite along with Snoop Dogg.
I see he's got his own gummies now. Look like him.
Really? I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I seen him at a gas station. I was like, boy, you made it whenever you got gummies that look like you.
So what are your 2025 predictions?
Oh, Lord knows. I don't pay as much attention to the news as I used to. The news just constantly had me stressed out over something. I was overspending on things that I didn't need to overspend on because it was another end of the world and we needed to supply up and this and that and blah blah blah. Just like every time this time of year when you get your tax money, it's the end of the world in some scenario. So I just got to the point where I got sick of seeing it and hearing about it, and I just quit watching the news.
Now
it's usually just a bunch of hoopla. So
now, do you have any goals?
Yeah, I'm trying to work my way up and get a full set going to the point where I can stand up and jump into any concert with and have so whatever time they have a set for, I can perform instead of having to nitpick because I've only got this much time, because I've only got so many songs. I'm really slow at writing songs because I can hear it in my head, and I go to put it on paper, and as soon as I do, I forget what I was thinking about, and I just completely lose it. So I'll get like bits and pieces of it written out here and there, and it's just kind of how I work when I'm writing songs. And but I've got comedy. My first song was a comedy song, and it's not really one I like my mom to listen to. So, it's not one of those songs. So yeah, it's one my mom not real proud of. But it's a funny song. It's literally like most guys know this man or are this man, and
Right.
ladies definitely probably know this man. So that's kind of was the whole point of the song. It was just to be a funny song about just things that I've seen over the years, and I made it's a real simple, repetitive song, and I made the beat for that one. But that's the only song I've done so far that I've actually made the beat myself for myself. So, which I just picked it from a bunch of beats I already had made and stuff, and I had the lyrics written, and he, the guys here, they helped me along to get going too and stuff like that. Sometimes when I'm working on a song or something, they'll be sitting here helping me or messing around singing with me, or that's what I really liked about doing it. You always got somebody there that's around to give you a hand if you need it on something.
So do we know when the song's gonna come out? That new one that you're working on?
No. I honestly thought it'd be out by now, but I'm still waiting for an artist to drop on it, and as soon as they're done, I'm going to try, and this will probably be one of the ones I release on all the platforms. It'll be the first one that's released on all platforms. So, but yeah, it'll be me and 2 other artists on there. So
Awesome.
I kind of left the rapping to them. I did the chorus. That was one thing Midmo Joe would always tell me. He's like, do the parts you can do real good, and then if you got somebody else that can jump on it and do something, he's like, and you're having trouble filling in the rest of it, he's like, just hand it off to them. And so that's kind of what I did with this song. I knew I could nail the chorus, but the verses are hard for me to write, and it takes me a while, like I said. But I had to get my coffee. I hadn't even had my coffee made. I woke up maybe like 20 minutes before you messaged me, so I wasn't quite awake yet. I thought I still had an hour. I didn't realize the time was off. So I'm still catching up. I got my coffee now. I'm good.
So is it cold where you're at?
Oh yeah, it's getting there. It was actually nice last couple of days. So now we're going to pay for it. I'm sure that's just Missouri for you. We can have 80 degrees, sunny weather, and then later that night it'll be a blizzard. It just temperature will plummet, and you'll have snow or ice or something. It's weird.
Oh.
But yeah, it's been cold here. We got all that snow, and I had to take a couple days off work because of it. But it's not like we don't want to run. I don't want to be on the road and end up in a wreck or something, because I drive a trash truck for a regular job. So, yeah, there's all kinds of hazards out there whenever there's ice and snow on the roads and getting stuck. Because last year it was really bad. We got that really deep snow, and we couldn't run for weeks because it kept snowing.
Man.
So it was a nightmare trying to get everybody picked up. It's not that we don't want to pick people up. It's just we can't, because
Right.
it really sucks for the trash guys. Trust me, the next day, if we can't pick you up that week, we got twice as much trash. That means we got to make more trips to the dump because we got so much trash. Everybody's got weeks of trash that's piled up, and it takes forever to get through just one day, and then you got a whole week of it. It's
All
almost
right. So, is there anything else you want to tell everybody?
Yeah, just keep an eye out for me. I haven't got a whole lot out there yet, but I'm working on that part of it. Like I said, this wasn't something that was. I was just kind of doing stuff in the background, and I was kind of had rolling the dice on Midmo Joe being the artist to pop out there and get going, and things happened, and he passed away. So now I'm trying to step up into his shoes and keep moving forward and trying to do what we were trying to accomplish here. So that's my goal. I'm gonna accomplish exactly what we were trying to pull, and
There you go.
someone's gonna get out there one way or another. We're gonna get them out there. We're gonna keep pushing each other, and we're gonna keep moving forward. As Joe would say, we're gonna stay on the rise.
Mm-hmm. So, where can everybody find your stuff?
Right now I'm just on SoundCloud under Joker Stealth still, because like I said, I haven't got everything transitioned over to Trotwood yet. But when I'm doing Trotwood, I'm kind of starting over, so I want to make sure when I start over this time, I know a lot more than I did when I started as Joker Stealth. So I'm trying to when I started, I want to do it right, the first time. So I'm going to try and drop stuff on DistroKid so it goes out on all platforms, like Hey Fishy, and maybe I'm going to try and do that to Moonshine Hippie and things like that eventually. So eventually my songs will be out there so everybody can hear them on all platforms. But right now, the only place you can hear me is on SoundCloud. And I think I only have one of the songs that I'm really using. I guess my comedy song's on there too. But Sad Emoji is on there. Moonshine Hippie, which Moonshine Hippie's the one I'm really looking forward to singing at this event, because all the moonshine guys are going to be there, and that's what it is. It's a moonshine song. So it's just it's another one of those ones that's just a unique song, but it'll definitely get people riled up and going. It's kind of a pumped up song, so just to have a good time with everybody. It's a drinking song.
No, there you go.
So and I'm working on some other new songs for this thing in May, because I don't really have a 20-minute set yet. So that's something I've been focused on here recently, is getting more songs written. So I'm hoping to have my 20-minute set ready for it. If not, if I'm having issues with that, I don't have a problem, because I'll just take one of my buddy's songs with me and do a tribute to him for one of his songs.
There you go.
So I'm covered either way.
All right. Is there well, obviously, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, not really. I'm a quiet, shy person. Actually, it's if I get a drink in me, then that's when you get Joker Stealth. But now, I usually just kind of keep quiet, keep to myself for the most part. I talk to people that I know, but just like doing the interviews and stuff, I'm just real nervous and stuff.
Right.
So I'm working on that. That's one thing I've been really trying to work hard on. That's so I can keep moving forward. So.
Well, I know the event. I guess we're supposed to be doing another one soon. For talk about May.
Yeah, the one in May is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're supposed to do another interview. So, get on it with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, well, that's cool. So maybe we'll get some of the other ones on there that weren't on there before. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of feels like the Brady Bunch when you see it on the screen, because you got all the different little screens laying everywhere and stuff.
Right.
It's pretty interesting. I hadn't done a big one like that before, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, I've had them pretty big. I had where we had 12.
Oh yeah. Well, I think from what I understand, you should be able to probably get 12 in there or more.
Mm-hmm.
If all the artists came in and talked at the same time, that'd be crazy. That'd be like plus 35 plus or something. I don't think it's stopped yet. I think it's still going on the artist. So it seems like I see new artists popping in there every once in a while in the chat. So
Yeah.
so
All right.
it's going to be a good time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. All right. So I thank you for joining for the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to do the interview. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. We'll definitely keep in touch. I'll be doing interviews at the event and plus live streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. You know, you can see each other and talk to each other through these little screens, but it's, you know, it's a whole nother thing to meet people. You know, you got that way you got vibes and stuff to go
Oh
with
yeah.
it. So,
Absolutely.
but
All
thank
right.
you.
Well, I will let you go and thank you again for joining. And we'll definitely have to have you on again.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Not a problem. See you
Bye.
soon. Bye.